What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Kairos Fateweaver Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, a pretty momentous episode has a bunch of stuff happen. First of all, we, after a vote, decided to vassalize Archaon, and by drawing him in, got to ourselves all of this territory effectively, including his 2 Norscan vassals, plus we vassalized another Norscan vassal in the form of the Tong up here, which also hold a bunch of territory that we now don't have to spend, I don't know, many episodes fighting and just Norskins. I think it'll keep it more interesting as we take over the realms of chaos and also potentially move towards Imperial territories later on, or Bretonnian territories, because that's where our cults are. Anyway, in addition to that, we unlocked the Blue Scribes, which are now currently sort of flying around with Kairos, getting a little bit of XP, hopefully, while Amon Shakai, I guess overall it was his episode last time, as he fought army after army after army belonging to the Slaneshi, and despite some losses, managed to defeat them all. A little bit of a shame we lost one of our spawn, or 2 of our spawn, one of them to seduction and one of them just because we could have transferred them to this army, but oh well, at least we will transfer this one spawn survivor to them. We are besieged here by Ragnar versus Veritas Painbringer. I don't think we are going to attack this like this, because we are going to move this little army in, and in fact this army can move, so let's start. You are going to go into an ambush stance, and I'm gonna hope that I don't screw you over in this manner. Go right here and get ready to move. If this guy continues besieging, we will destroy him by moving you in as a reinforcement. Granted, it's only blue horrors there, but it'll be more than enough with the garrison units that we have in the actual army. Other than that, let's see what else we have. Vizier Fate Blazes, oh, that's the guy I just moved. I was confusing with Drulas. Augustus Rex, and yeah, you have to just stay here. There's not much you can do. Wait, can you channel? You know what? Maybe sit here and channel outside of the settlement. Oh, that costs us, what, 200 gold per turn? But you probably should have full mana. Oh, wow, you barely get any mana here. I guess this is one of our poorly Winds of Magicked up territories. It is. This place isn't generating any money right now, or at least not a lot. Well, 75, better than nothing. I was wondering whether we could take some of the Winds of Magic from someplace that isn't generating any real money and then transfer it to here. But we need to, well, I guess we can let go of the 75. Let's do this like that, so that this army can actually channel, like so. All right, better than nothing. A little bit of research rate as well. Why not? Not that it's going to make much of a difference, and I do believe that's the end of this turn, unless I'm forgetting something. Building is looking okay, and I think we're ready to We're ready to... What is this? Oh! Hey, wait a second. Whoa. Withered Eye Greenskins. Why are they... Wait, let me just see here. Ah... Okay, well, this was always going to happen. This is what I was worried about with the vassalization of this Greenskin faction in the previous episodes. It looks like they don't like us, and they might be trying to betray us here. Well, we already summoned Rel here last episode, and they're not going to take City of Splinters, even with a full stack, I think. The Hill of Bones is a different issue, however. Last time he started moving Kairos towards the Skaven, and he's already used all his movement points, so we might have to change that. Okay, so you know what? Here's what we can do. You are the Stack Lord. Since you're going to betray us anyway, we're going to request your army. And we're going to start moving it. We'll move it up here towards the Tokmars, or possibly towards Kairos, it doesn't really matter, in order to destroy them as soon as they betray us, or we betray them preemptively. Of course, we could use our allies to take them out, but, I mean, this is also right beside our territory, so we could take this out and then give these territories to the Norskins, probably for vassalage. If we trade... Yeah, we could do some swapping and then get this territory, or these 2 territories belonging to us, or these Norskins belonging to us, because we want them for units. Anyway, I believe that's all we got, and we're going to end the turn, so skip. Cults, yeah, we can't afford your upgrades right now, cults, sorry, end turn. And it looks like they will indeed attack us. They're going to take one of our pink horrors, unfortunately, and that will leave us with a unit, well... At least it's a garrison unit that will be destroyed. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're attacking us, but I think it'll be just fine. And guess we're fighting us. Go.
Let us teach them to fear the eldritch energies of Tzeentch.
Alrighty, here we go. Looks like the Slaaneshi will attempt to besiege us, and we'll see whether we can see off their attack. We're gonna start the battle by sallying out with our Lord to move against this first enemy ram here, being pushed by the Forsaken. And what we're going to do is we're gonna activate the Forbidden Rod to get the additional casting, the Skull of Catan to get the additional spell mastery, and then get that Gehenna's Golden Hounds in the midst of the enemy Forsaken, pushing that ram, as well as pop off that Soul Leech of Tzeentch. Then we're good here. The enemy has 2 units of cab, but they can't chase us, so we'll head back within our settlement. The unit of Forsaken is heavily damaged and will probably be destroyed by the towers. Similar sort of situation over on the other sides of the map. We've got our own towers attacking the enemy's siege towers. And we'll see if we can take them out before, or at least one of them out before they can reach the walls, though I guess it's probably better to prioritize one of the devoted marauders that is going to climb either way, as we have other ways to annoy enemies that pop out of those towers. Looks like over on this side we got another ram heading towards us, plus a unit of demonettes and the enemy lord. Here we have deployed one of our pink horrors up on top of the walls, and sort of about it, in the sense that we don't have a lot of other stuff, i.e. we are spread very, very thin, and the main idea here is to just have as many units activating as many towers as possible. It's a walled settlement with all those towers, and the towers are stronger in SFO than they are in vanilla, so we might as well take advantage. Let's see how it works out. Pink Horror is doing decently well by the looks of it, and this unit of Demonettes is looking to probably start climbing, but they're also in very bad shape to do so. The Forsaken pushing the ram are down to about 50% of their HP, actually down to about 40% now, and as they close the distance with those Pink Horrors, their HP will continue to drop. Alrighty, although the regular Pink Horrors, let's see, 33 missile damage, some armor piercing on them, that's still pretty solid. 97 armor on those Forsaken now. Yeah, good for them. 54 and 34, decent stats. Good for them again. But will they be able to reach the place with that ram? I have my doubts. And it looks like they're shaken. Oh, the ram is getting very close. It only needs to hit the gate 3 times in order to break through it. Which will be unfortunate because the Lord is here and we don't really have anybody to stop him if he heads towards our settlement. Capture point. Ooh, so darn close. The ram was just unable to reach the main location, or the gate rather. And the Forsaken are down. The Demonette's still up there, but we should be able to take care of them. Over on the left flank, it looks like the first of the enemy towers have gotten to the walls. It looks like our own towers did not dish out enough damage to knock those siege towers out, but that's alright. This is why I wasn't so worried. The enemy is going to pop out of those towers right in a big old blob, and we're going to hit him immediately with a Searing Doom. On top of that, taking about 40% or 60% of their HP out, we'll immediately pop on in with a unit of Furies to surround them as they get pinned against the Forsaken that are up on top of the walls, and then immediately rout. There is another unit running around here, but hopefully we can distract them long enough with our other unit of Forsaken to hit them with another Searing Doom and then another round of Furies. And I do believe this is where the battle will be decided, because the enemy has divided their army into 3 separate units, or 3 separate or distinct little sub-armies. And the other 2 have failed to breach the gate, so this is the only location where the enemy had these siege towers, so this is the only place they can hope to achieve something. Though I'd wager we can simply get all the other units off the walls should we need to do so. And get them here. Alright, we're taking a very long time to deal with those Hell Scourge Marauders because of the overwhelm ability they have, reducing the Forsaken damage by effectively half, which is pretty bad. On the bright side, though, the Forsaken are too heavily armored for them, and the Hell Scourges are there to debuff, not do damage. So they are trapped and will get hit by that Searing Doom, and here come the Furies, just as they do. And with that, the devoted Marauders of Slaanesh are out. The bounce power shifts to about 80% in our favor. The enemy does have some cavalry attempting to make their way through, but it looks like the battle is just about done. The Demonettes have made their way inside, but the gatehouse will not be captured by them as they are melting away, and we've gotten one of the blue horror units off of the walls to gun them down and prevent them from capturing anything. And unable to take a single blue horror out by the looks of it. With that, the enemy is no hope, and it knows that because it only had cavalry units remaining. So the Lord on horse and the 2 units of Hellstriders will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Alright, there we go. The fast movers, the Lord, the Hellstriders, well, both Hellstriders obviously escaped, as we had no easy way of actually making sure that they stayed gone, but otherwise the army is by and large destroyed. Foolish of them to attack, but I'm glad that they did, as the defensive siege battles are pretty rare, and I guess I can see why they thought that they could do this, though they managed to achieve not even a single kill. We'll take the money, that's for sure.
Spill their blood.
Alright, Veritas Painbringer got the... Wait, who are you again? Scholar of the Abyss. Alright, you're the one with the Skull of Catan. Otherwise, a trait that is kind of meh. We could use you as a recruiter to eventually then turn you into a Demon Prince of Tzeentch. I think that'll be the best use of you, since your trait is kind of meh anyway. And you did achieve something here. Slaanesh is Ascendant. Okay, that one is not super surprising, as Slaanesh is kind of obnoxiously OP due to the nature of the bug. But anyway, others search for the Nemesis crown, and that's it. Alrighty, so raiding at the City of Splinters. Looks like the orcs have moved to raid us, but have not otherwise yet decided to attack us. You are going to move towards Tokmar's camp, and then I guess we've no choice but to send Kairos back around to deal with them. Fine. Kairos, begin traveling. Ugh, the raiding in combination with the control reduction is going to be not great, but what can you do? Alright, go. Archie likes us. He doesn't like our treaties with the Blood Satyrs, who we might betray, and the Pearlescent, who we will eventually confederate, so that's not a big deal. Now, Carag Doom, we built these up in order to see 2 things. First of all, can we trade this to Kolek? No, we can only... In fact, we can trade nothing. The Veil. Go figure. Alright, fine. If that cannot be traded, does it have some use? What are these guys named? Schwarzwolf and Bearsenling. Let's try. Carag Doom is worth 29,000 gold. How do you have so much money? What the heck, Schwarzwolf? Okay, well, I don't imagine this faction has so much money, but let's just double check. Oh, they also have a fair bit. 26K, what the heck? Why? Are you telling me they're not developing their provinces, they're just saving on their money? Game. It might be that it's because they're Kolek's vassals and have now been crippled in terms of what they can do? I hope that's not the case, because we have a bunch of vassals of our own, but, well, whatever. It's their units we want, not their effectiveness. Either way, I'm perfectly happy with them funding our stuff, so we can give you Carag Doom, which is worthless to us at the time, especially since it's a yellow territory, and take the 29,000 gold. Go for it. Yeah. That's going to come in real handy since we're starting to build new units. Ooh, and speaking of new units and stuff, let's get a few names in there. At least starting with some of the Screamers and Furies. They did very well last episode, and I think they deserve to be rewarded for their efforts. You are going to be Montrares. Montrarouse, okay. Montrares, and we're probably going to have about 4 in this army, so Silent Screamers, probably not so silent. And lastly, Maniacal Mantas. We'll obviously also put the Regiment of Renown in there. Let's get some Fury names. Now, I do caution you guys about naming Furies, because I will name them, but I will not rename them if they die, because they do have a tendency to die. Government spy drones, but the ones in this army, they did survive, so, you know. Airborne Academics. And lastly, Burdens of Truth. There we go. And you know what? This spawn also did survive, so I think it deserves a name as well. You can be Grimoire Eaters, and you're going to go into our first spawn army, which is currently in the process of being constructed. Got our first 2 Forsaken of Tzeentch up and running as well. Might as well name them. Lost to the Labyrinth. And then you can be Orphans of Change, like so. And these guys are technically going to become Forsaken as well, unless we make the Norscan army on this side of the map. I haven't decided on that one as yet. I'm gonna have to think about that. I wonder where you're going. You're going down here? Ugh. Wait, they spawned more and new armies, didn't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... And I don't know what you're doing, but you probably just lost another army. Yeah, we need to just take their territories one by one, because it's going to be a big hassle dealing with them. Anyway, I think what we'll want to do is transfer... Oh, you won't be able to immediately transfer them? Damn, alright, fine. We need the units in this army to heal up, but at the same time, we need you to get mana. Alright, then I would like you to do this. You head out here, go into encamp stance, outside of the impossible fortress. You're going to transfer all the damaged units to him, because I think he'll be able to heal more and faster. Transfer with the iridescent horror as well, because it'll power up the healing. Like so. You can keep the rest of the units yourself and keep on channeling. Good. And you, can you get another point in replenish troops? Yes, you can. Just the one for now, but it's already solid. Alright, and you'll probably need to keep recruiting. We do have the money, but let's do whatever else it is that we need to do. Looks like these guys ran away. I assume we won't be able to take Citadel of the Iron Knight without the help of the main stack, so... Probably gonna have to meet up. This stack is in theory supposed to join this army. But I guess they can sort of act together with everybody else for now, so... Oh, you know what we can do? I have an idea. Give it a try. Anyway, go into ambush stance, and... Oh, you won't be able to reach him. Oh, fine. Takes a while to move here. Alright, fine. You guys go here at the edge of this territory. These guys build units, so we might be able to do a little bit of an ambush with these two. And just gotta work with what we've got. At least for now, and then you can channel just because you might be the one that draws the enemy into battle. Alrighty, that looks okay. And Drillas, you're stuck where you are. Rel, I forgot who you are. Oh, you're this guy. Well, we just got the money so that we can afford the demonic fortress. It's stupidly expensive, but we gotta build it. And it'll help with the additional garrison here. Oh, we have no walls here in the City of Splinters. That's not great, actually. Well, hopefully we get the chance to build them because this guy's here. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. What else do we have? You are supposed to recruit stuff for the army that will be the Chaos Warrior army, but we don't have the ability to do that yet. We'll have to wait. Alright, fair enough. And I believe that's everything. Yes, I think it is. Alrighty. Building. Oh, look at all that public order dropping. It ain't great. Keep investing in whatever gives us more money. We're going to need it, and I believe that was the last turn that we'll need the Mutalith Prism formula, so we can switch to the Architect's Theorem for control and additional cash. Impossible Fortress, you are waiting. We are probably going to build a military structure here, but I'm not yet sure which one, because it depends on what exactly we do here and which armies are going to be needed here as opposed to elsewhere. As I haven't completely decided. Let us take a look at what we have in terms of the Exalted Heroes. They are expensive to recruit, but we should probably get some Sorcerers and some Exalted Heroes up and running. I do like the Covetous ones, I admit, just for the additional magic item collection. I think we'll get at least one Covetous one. Plus, I want to take a look at what these guys actually do, if they buff any specific units. Enemy Vigor Loss, so it's debuff enemies. Oh! Chaos Sorcerers can also get the War Shrines, but they're better on discs, I think, rather than the War Shrines, because we could put the Cultists on the War Shrines. Quell, Power, Scouting, Steel Tech. Huh. Well, they'll be good for commanding Doom Knights, but otherwise they don't actually power up any specific units, so they might actually be better as Tech Thieves. Although I do like the enemy spell resistance reduction, I do admit. Alright, what about Exalted Heroes? Do we have anything interesting? We could take the Volatile Flames one, but we gotta keep in mind that the Volatile Flames one will not be useful for the Flying Army because it doesn't do fire damage. there is that. Either way, let's get one on field right now. I want to see what, if anything, you power up. Alright, so you do have the Chaos Strategist and Chaos Commander and stuff, which is just sort of generalist good stuff. And otherwise... okay, sorry guys, 1 second, I gotta open the door. Sorry about that, my cat was scratching at the door just over and over again while I was speaking, and it's very distracting trying to concentrate on whatever it is you're trying to do with the constant noise. Anyway, I do like the fact that these guys have the Tzeentch's many glories. In fact, it seems like among the Tzeentch heroes and lords, I guess if you count the units of... the iridescent horrors, there's a lot of ways to sort of stack reductions. It looks like the Sorcerer Lord doesn't actually have one of those, however. And I do like... oh! Wait, we get a barrier replenishment rate plus 15% out of these guys. Ah, meaning if we put one Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal, or say Chaos Sorcerer Lord in general, in Kairos' army... oh wait, no, that's rate, not delay. Although, the rate might also still be helpful. I'll think about it. I kind of am interested in just continuously stacking more and more rate and delay reductions in Kairos' army to see to what degree we could get it up to / a giggle. Anyway, let's keep going with whatever it is that we still need to do this turn. You're stuck where you are, well, I think I already checked, and I think since we got the heroes and we built the buildings, we can just end the turn and proceed. See what the orcs do, if anything, in turn. Alright, still no attack from the Greenskins by the looks of it, but that's just fine by me. We are going to move the other Greenskin army that we borrowed right beside Tokmar's camp. I just hope that these guys don't move. Cult proliferates. Well, cults have been doing a really good job. We got a full stack now, but Kairos is, well... on the way. It's gonna take him some time to get here. Keep moving, Kairos, and we still can't use the Unholy Manifestation because we're not in enemy territories. We should still get it on cooldown if we can. Anyway, you're moving in here. We've got how many more turns until we can get another vassal? 3 turns until transfer settlement. Gonna try to get Kolek if we can. He isn't the fondest of us, I guess, and he keeps trespassing through the territories of Archaon and stuff, which ain't great. And he doesn't like treaties with us. I wonder if he's actually trying to move towards us to attack us, but once again, I think we could just, we should just be able to easily confederate him, or vassalize him as well. Mostly, I actually want his Norscan vassals and not him himself, so we shall see. Anyway, the rest of this is good. Let's do some building. Most importantly, lost Athenium. We will wait on upgrading the Pink Blaze here, however, as I don't think it warrants an upgrade right now. What we will want is... ooh, we're gonna have to decide whether we want the Tsangor army here or whether we want it down in the realm of Tzeentch. Although we will need another army down here. We already have 2 in mind, namely the Blue Scribes will split off to lead their own army together with all of these pink and blue horrors, so that hasn't changed. We will, however, be building a Cold Hellbrass's army here, so we will want... we might want some knights with him as well. Not just these guys, but for now we'll build the Doom's Hold or start moving through this line. This, on the bright side, would give us access to Exalted Heroes on this side of the map. Frankly, I'd like to get access to the Cult of Lies and the Tsangors, but mostly the cultists here as well, especially as there are a couple of cultists that we need to replace. We can do that at Dolganyar Forest. I guess the question will be what's more important to get more capacity of. These buildings don't actually give us... oh, actually, no, they do. They give us sorcerer capacity. All of the buildings give us capacity. So we'll need more Exalted Heroes in Eocold's army, I'd bet. Also, what do you do? Colossal Strike, anything interesting? Meeting of the Minds. I'm just checking if they have any kind of auras that would be interesting to us. Obviously, the cultists are very much in need as well. When's a magic cost for spells? Just double checking whether this does anything interesting for us building-wise, but it doesn't look like it does. I think we can wait on the knights, mostly because they're going to be expensive. The Tsangors, yeah, the knights are expensive, but let's do a cultist building here. And maybe we'll do the other building in the other location. Alright, that looks good, and you know what? While we're building buildings, let's, build buildings. Road to Damnation, you're fine for now, as I don't want to spend any more of the money, and Impossible Fortress, you're fine as well. You can start collecting income, unless I'm mistaken. There we go. You can start collecting income unless I'm mistaken. And you, go figure, same thing. Oh, actually, you're gonna... well, okay, fine, you cannot collect income. At least for now. You, with only 2 units, let's see if we can't do this. You will besiege... It's not enough to win this, though. We don't have a ringer, a damage dealer in the army, and especially with these guys not having enough... Oh, you can reach us? Oh, that's nice. Okay, you just stay here. Can we recruit anything? We can recruit more marauders. I guess we could get the marauder army up and running down here, then. That's certainly a possibility. Healing is still going, but you guys will need to start moving down towards the Crystal Labyrinth, so start moving this way. You keep moving this way as well. We'll keep on recruiting the Forsaken and Spawn. Can we actually build Spawn here? We can. Alrighty, let's get 2 Spawn. Or do we get 3 Spawn? Yeah, we'll need the Spawn to maintain the line. I do wish they weren't... Well, I was about to say, I wish they weren't that expensive, but they're actually not that expensive for what they are, especially with the numbers that they have. The problem with the Tzeentch Spawn, unlike the other Spawn, is that they have high numbers of models, which means that they are liable to lose model numbers very quickly, so gotta pay attention to that. Anyway, it looks like we're ignoring Clan Fester for now. We can't confederate the Pearlescent, who has 2 settlements. Where's the second one? Huh. I wonder where their second settlement is. It's kind of interesting. Because they're not, it's not here, obviously. I wonder if they... I'm actually not sure that the AI is capable of moving through the... through those things to get into the realm of Nurgle, but I guess we'll see. Well, we're allied with them for now, so let's hope that we can confederate them at some point, otherwise we'll just have to betray them. In the Tzeentch way. Alrighty, Veritas paying bringer. Okay, sorry about the jumping back and forth like that, but it's kind of necessary. I guess you're just gonna stay here. Could get a couple more marauders. Yeah, let's get a couple more marauders, why not? Can't do pink horrors here anyway. Amanchakak has moved, Drillas does not need to, or cannot move rather. Rel is fine, and we'll start recruiting in a couple of turns, but not yet. Although, we could at least get a couple flamers. I don't necessarily mean that we need flamers in Kairos' army, but he is about to lose his pink horrors, so it's something to replace them with. I like it. Let's do some flamers, expensive though they may be. Unless there's something that reduces the... wait. Recruitment cost reductions? No dice. Alright, fair enough. And there goes all of that money we built up. But it is what it is as well. Anyway, Exalted Hero and other hero. You guys are gonna start moving down here. And Chaos Sorcerer, that's the one. And we do have more of them, and we'll have to just pay attention to the ones that we want / like and getting them in various armies. I do like the Greater Magic Bond ones. Tormentor... oh, I like the ones with the Spirit Leech as well, and wins a Magic Power Reserve. Ooh, Tormentor's quite nice. I would actually maybe like to get you... well, actually, no, we would probably want the... I'm wondering which one would we want for Kairos. Maybe the passive Greater Magic Bond ability? Erudite ain't bad as well. Just to double check, this is infinite duration, just more power recharge and reserves, which we should just stack as much as possible. Well, this is great, too. But anyway, not necessarily down here, although possibly. We'll see another end turn by the looks of it until we can finally strike, keep hold of that money, and just keep ending turns until we can get to that transfer settlement. And, okay, I went to the wrong place. I really need to get into the habit of clicking like this instead of trying to manually move the map up there in turn. It did work, that's funny. Enemy failed to spot your ambush and will destroy this army, such as it is, like so. Alright, good. What do we have here? Money or a charmed shield? I'm gonna say money. I mean, it's a single charmed shield, not a big enough deal. Let's give this a read, though. A dragon-blooded noble of Cathay has opened her mind to Qian-Chi. She is only too happy to throw herself from the Great Bastion to prove her new loyalty, and to leave you something of great value to pluck from her shattered corpse. Choose wealth. Instruct your puppet to adorn herself with whatever precious trinkets she can grab before she embarks upon her final voyage. Ambusher discovered Malagor. What's Malagor doing, by the way? I still want him to be our little minion here. He's fighting Fester Clan Nesta. Well, if he takes too much of their territory, that's not going to be great because we want it for ourselves, and he might interfere with it. Lichbone Pennant, Disc of Tzeentch, and Noticed Vizier. And okay, everybody's getting noticed by Tzeentch, but go figure. We're in his realm. Anyway, this guy's still staying there. His rating is climbing. And it is probably interfering with the money generation, but it is what it is as well. Kairos, just keep on moving, sir. I assume he can't reach you. I'm a little bit worried that he can reach Ragnar Heldenmouth, so just move into support. One more turn of this, I believe, and we're going to go for them, and then you can just stay in march stance right outside Tokmar's camp for when we declare war on you. I guess I could have just moved you out even further, maybe used you to attack the Cathians or something, but it also doesn't really matter all that much. Huh. Actually, if we put you beside the trails of Hashut, wait, I have another idea. Put you beside the trails of Hashut, you won't immediately get destroyed, but there's a decent likelihood that you'll immediately attack it and then either occupy it or something, which might work for us if we want to take it for ourselves. Nice and schemy. Cult of Lies into Puzzle Maker's Hovel, please. That will enable us to build our first Chaos Warriors. And we don't have enough cultists yet in this capacity sense, but not to worry, we'll build the cultist building here. Let's upgrade the Demonic Fortress. Very expensive. You know, let's take a look at whatever else we can upgrade before we do that. Eyrie of the Watcher and Ruins of the Dead King. Okay, both of you have to be upgraded. You're going to switch to Infernal Citadel and start collecting income, even if it's minor. You are going to upgrade to Tier 3. And I think we'll have just enough money to build this unless we want to recruit more stuff, which is also a distinct possibility. Looks like these guys have backed off from the Citadel of the Iron Knight. Might be able to force them into a field battle. Oh, I assume we can't reach them immediately? No, we can't. Alright, fine. You're gonna encamp stance and then move out here towards them. I guess we're going to use the heroes to help take it over. It'll certainly be a fight because we don't have a damage dealer here. And all we can do is hope that our spell work will be sufficient to deal with the enemy. You can move on in I guess, in camp stance as well. Or channeling. Wait, will we suffer attrition here? No, this is the realm of the sorcerer, and everything's nicely anciently corrupted. Anyway, transfer all of this. We'll level these guys before. I don't know why I didn't move you guys into the army immediately. Anyway, we'll do that. You, Amon Chakai. Okay, wait. First of all, what we need to do is we need to get Mr. Farmort Woemaker up and running. He's going to be leading our Forsaken, which we now have in decent numbers. Arvax is what again? Just a generic whisperer. Alright, so he can lead Sangors, he can lead Marauders. I guess we could do Marauders down here and Sangors up north since we built the building up there. Amon Chakai, you can take back your flyers now, I guess. Yeah, your mana's maxed out. Alright, so you can take back your flyers. Like so. And I guess we'll start moving toward... and take this guy as well. At least for now. And then I guess we'll start moving southward. Ooh, wait a moment. Another thought occurs. We just did the successful ambush, so Amon Chakai, do this. Transfer the flyers back. Basically any... okay, not you. Basically as many of the units as possible. Like so. And then... I actually wonder who has the greater ambush success chance. 45% versus 45, okay, it's the same. Alright, so you're gonna move down here. And you will move together. Slightly damaged perhaps, but if we can get this one little army, it'll be fine, and then we can use you to keep recruiting. Now, we need more Forsaken. And we certainly... well, we probably will need more Chaos Spawn. We definitely need more Forsaken. So keep building those. They are stupidly expensive, considering. But it is what it is. I think the 5 that we got for now will be enough. We'll just, you know, make up the numbers with additional Marauders. Alright. And I believe that's good. Rel is fine where he is. Going to transfer those flamers to Kairos. So we also will want to get a new lord up and running. Or not a new lord, but specifically this guy, Mahiko Rock, who will command the Blue Scribes army. I guess. Just a sort of horror force of various kinds. And I believe that's all we have to do. We're prepared... nearly prepared for war. 2 more turns until we get the bonus control, which is much needed as well. We'll skip the rest of this. We've got 2 more turns until transfer settlement. Alright, so in 2 turns, that's when things will start happening. Alright, and let's see, we are at 72 with the Tokmars. Going to soon have to build our outpost with them to start taking their units for our Norscan army. And I guess, wait, is Tokmar's camp their capital? It is. You know, let's just build it now. I know it's expensive, but at the same time, I don't want to have to wait around because it takes 2 turns to build this thing anyway. Alright, and that's good. Where's Kolek? Is he... I saw him running around previously, but I guess I don't see him anymore. I'd love to have these guys declare war on the frickin' Blue Vipers. The problem is they'll immediately lose Altayan Hills, and on top of that, these guys might just run away and then move towards the Zanpai Jin, which is not going to be capable of defending itself. Unless we invest in it, and I don't want to do that right now. Yeah. Oh well, what can you do? And we will also need to reveal a Shroud. You know, we'll reveal Shroud after we transfer settlement. Mostly because we'll need to declare war on somebody down here after we vassalized the Heralds of the Tempest to have everybody just sort of march on down here, like against the Kistophites or something. Essentially recreate the Great War against Chaos. End turn. Hey, another one of these ambushes worked, isn't it lovely? This is not worthy of our time and attention, so we'll auto-resolve. All of those lords and heroes are wasted. And we'll take the money. Alright, apparently over the end turn, Clan Pestilence decided to cancel their military alliance for us, and, well, we'll make them pay for it with cult spam. And down there, hey, mission successful, recruit 30 units, another banner of change, I'm sure it'll come in handy, and plus 75 grimoires. In fact, the banner of change, what do we have here? Raise or sack Citadel of the Iron Knight. Why would we raise it or sack it when we can occupy it? We can... Wait, sacking it will take it down to... Wait, occupying it or sacking it will take it down to tier 2. Sacking it will take it down to tier 1. Is the cost of sacking it, which would be 1,800, I guess we make slightly more money for the Dimensional Breach by sacking it? I guess. Not the crazy amount more, mind you, but maybe something. Anyway, we'll have Vizier Fate Blaze. I said Feet Blaze for a second. Alrighty. He's going to besiege. You are going to reinforce. We're going to put both heroes in this army, and we're going to level you up in the hopes that we can actually win the fight. Like so, and like so. We'll need more heroes up and running shortly as well. Alright, we'll level you up. Next up, we... Ooh. Oh, we can't reach you? Darn. I mean, we're outside of the settlement too, and we can't teleport upon you either. Well, isn't that a shame? Oh well, what can you do? I guess we'll just need to encamp. Man, you guys really can't move very well out here, can you? Go here. And then we will have you move in and reinforce, and we're probably not going to do that again in the sense that the ambush is not needed anymore, so we can take back these units. And you're actually the most damaged, so just take that back the flyers for now, keep the melee and the iridescent horror, but we'll change that up in a little bit. These two can become change bringers or other flying units, so they'll still work well in this army. Alright. And these guys still have a billion armies, and I think these guys got another army here. It's just never ending. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, it's the realm of chaos for you. What do you expect? Kairos. 2 questions. 1, can you reach Mr. Gulgrog? You cannot. Alright, so just go into ambush right beside him. You will approach, like so. You can also soon get 4 warriors of Tzeentch, and then I guess you can start building some warriors of Tzeentch as well, or Chaos. Oh, wow, they're stupidly expensive. You know what? Maybe they're a little bit too expensive for now. Let's get some Marauders of Tzeentch in place of the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with halberds, and then we'll eventually sort of transfer them. And that's probably the way to do it. Huh. And I guess, wait, can Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch level up to Chaos Knights, or do we have to level Chaos Warriors to Chaos Knights? Yeah, the Marauders can. Yeah, I mean, in Standard, I believe they can, so this does make sense. They do have to rank up fairly high, but it does... it's a decent option. Especially here. And we'll have cockatrices soon. Funnily enough, I got the most name suggestions for cockatrices. I have like a dozen, and you guys really favor those cockatrices, don't you? little bit sus. Alright, Marauders of Tzeentch with spears, I guess, to take the place of the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with halberds. Start building them. At least they're not too expensive in terms of their recruitment. And we'll have a Cold Hellbrass. Okay, what actually, I forget what we need here. 8 units. Okay, it's a fair bit. Oh, wow. You know what, maybe just to get them on field earlier, maybe it's better to just straight up go into Chaos Warriors. Alright, let's give it a couple of turns because it's going to cripple our income if we do it like this. Let's just wait then. You will allow us to build Chosen, but we don't need you to do that. You will allow us to build the more expensive Flamers, but we can't afford them, so we'll wait. Dolganyar Force, we want to upgrade you, but we can't afford it. We need more money. First, so Forgotten Scriptorium and Weave of Time, as well as that Cultist thing as well here. You will upgrade the Cultist thing, and then you will get the Weave of Time and or Web of Secrets and Forgotten Scriptorium. Let's also check the Winds of Magic. How are we doing here? You're generating a little bit of extra cash, though not all that much, and the rest of this, I think, is more or less fine. Then, we have, let's see, Scriveners of Insanity will give us bonus Grimoires and Construction 2 for all regions faction-wide. Night of Madness will give us Spell Intensity and the Research Rate. Don't really care about the Tzeentch Corruption, as we're not intending to make use of it, so we're gonna put this on you just for the additional spell intensity, because most likely these guys will attack you. Yes. Oh, but it's all characters faction-wise, so it doesn't really matter who we put this on, frankly. Enemy armies in province feral. Well, actually, that doesn't help us either, really. Nah, just do it. Whatever. I gotta get these off cooldown anyway, or on cooldown, or else it feels like a waste. And then Scriveners of Insanity just gives us Grimoires and other stuff. We can, I don't know, pop it onto a Monchakai, I guess. It's all regions faction-wide anyway. The construction time reduction is probably irrelevant to us, though actually I just want to double check. How many turns was the thing we just selected to take? Yeah, it's taking 1 turn anyway, so no difference. As long as we have high control, the buildings tend to take 1 turn anyway, so it will always be as it is supposed to be. You still have Mutalith Prism formula. I guess you can switch to the Architect's Theorem. And, I mean, we could just build the Cultist camp here, if nothing else. It's still research and grimoires. And while we do intend to build other military structures here... Oh, right, we also have the Chaos Chariots of Tzeentch. I gotta work those into the Mortal Army or armies, or one of the mixed armies, but for now, go for the Cultist camp. At least it feels like we're not wasting our time by not having that up. Anyway, let's level these guys up in preparation for 3 fights next turn, at least. Alrighty, so, Vizier Fateblaze. We're definitely going to need Gehenna's Golden Hounds here. Like so. You guys, blue and pink fires. Definitely max out blue fires and get 1 point in the pink fires, I guess. And do you have blue fires? Yes. Oh, wait, do you... Oh, you have Locus of Change, eh? I don't particularly like Conspirator, but the bonus range is something that we want specifically for, well, actually, not this army, but another army. You have Cruel with the Greater Magic Bond. In the early game, especially, Locus of Transmog is better, but in the late game, it will become relatively useless. Making Locus of Change, and yeah, I think we just don't choose a Locus as yet, and yeah, we could reset them later, but I just don't feel like doing that, so let's get Fires of Change and 1 point in pink fires for you. You are reinforcing, right? And wait, just in case we should build... Other way around. Just in case we should build a bunch of these things. Yes, and then you will level up as well. You have Searing Doom and Gehenna's Golden Hounds as options. I'm going to say... We probably won't be casting more than 1 Gehennas, but it is possible since the enemy severely outnumbers us, so let's do that. We do have a decent melee line with 5 units, but it's not much of one, and most likely we'll need to wipe the enemy army out. And the rest of you are fine. I think that's all we gotta do here, in preparation for the fights. Alright, a little bit of admin work, but while we had to deal with all of these, darn... Oh, you know what? Let's switch you to regular stance so that you can, in fact, take the trails of Hashut. You're fine as you are for at least 1 more turn. We could build 1, but it's just not, it's just 1, it's not worth it. It's not gonna make any kind of difference. You... So we will want some Mutalith Vortex Beasts together with the Chaos Spawn and stuff, but we won't have them for a while, which I guess is the issue. You know what? Just sit as you are. I think we're just going to transfer your forces like this, and then we'll wait to see about the... we'll wait to see about other stuff, about recruitment. Because we'll go to 0 money, or a 0 income per turn, and I don't like that. Alrighty, and... yes, alright, that was the last turn. Now, time for things to happen. Let's end the turn, and let's get ready to fight everybody. And hopefully vassalize Mr. Kolek. By taking Monolith of Akarak from Archie, but I don't see a better way to do it. The Vale is part of these territories, just want to double check. Yeah, Monolith of Akarak, he already owns 2 territories here. We could always take them all. We could, over time, take all of this for ourselves if we wanted to. Alright, they will indeed attack us, so this is exactly what we were expecting, and it should be a pretty interesting one. They have 5 units of cav, which is going to be a very big issue for us here. Well, let's hope that we can pull it off. Should be an interesting one. Before we start, we're just hovering short of the engagement threshold by the looks of it. But I guess, we'll give it a little bit more time. By the time that this releases, we will most likely have reached it, so just going to assume that we will. But do keep it in mind. For now, the engagement threshold remains 500 likes, 70 comments, and the next episode will be an hour-longish, hour-adjacent, etc. as well. If you're enjoying the longer episodes, go. Alrighty, here we go. Should be a pretty darn interesting fight, I'd wager. We've got our little iridescent horror, or herald rather, leading all of the blue horrors. No pink horrors or elite horrors here. The disparity in unit quality between the enemy chaos, or the enemy spawn, as well as the enemy Hellstriders, Seekers, and Demonettes, and that of our blue horrors, our cheapest unit, is, it has some potential to see us suffer a little bit, but we'll see. We got a pretty solid position here. We got a big old rock and plateau upon which we have a little bit of high ground, and we've got our units of Marauders essentially protecting the blue horrors, which will allow them to do their little tiny bits of range damage, hopefully decently well. Over on the left flank, we have both of our units of Marauders of Tzeentch with spears, as this is where the enemy is looking to loop around and hit us with the Seekers and the Hellstriders. As for why the Seekers are damaged a little bit, having lost about 24% of their HP, 25% of their HP, quarter of their HP, whatever, as we've hit them already with a nice little blue fires of Tzeentch, as they're the most threatening units on the field. Anyway, here come the Hellstriders, but the spears of Tzeentch will hold them back, like so. And as soon as they charge on in, we bring down a Searing Doom upon them. Especially against those Hellstriders, that should do plenty of damage, or the Seekers rather. The Seekers down to about 40% of their HP. We got more enemies moving in on the other side, the Chaos Spawn and the Hellstriders charging through, but the enemy melee infantry are blobbing up nicely, and we would be foolish not to take advantage of it. That's the terrain advantage working for us. As the enemy tries to get around the bend, we will activate our Gehenna's Golden Hounds in the midst of the enemy blob, and then pop off that Soul Leech of Tzeentch on everybody here as well. The bounce power instantly shifts in our favor to about 65%, and though it looks like the Chaos Spawn at least have broken through our lines and have made their way towards the blue horrors, which they are killing with Gusto. That word is ruined for me. The rest of the line is still holding. And we should be able to deal with at least one unit of spawn, though. Ooh, the other Hellstriders came very close to entering our sort of Tzeentchian box here. That's alright, we did have a spare unit of Marauders. We're going to move them through the lines of blue horrors to distract the enemy spawn, while the blue horrors back off and get ready to hose the enemy down with their blue fire. Searing Doom comes down on the biggest remaining blob of enemies that are still concentrated over on the right flank, as the left flank is very nearly ours. All of the Hellstriders and the Seekers have been beaten back, and now it's just a spear off, as the devoted Marauders of Slaanesh with their spears face off against our Marauders of Tzeentch. Alrighty, but of course we don't just have spears with the blue horrors raining fire upon the enemy as they fight. You gotta love the visuals you get out of fighting in the realm of Tzeentch here. And we'll be getting plenty more of them when we fight in the other realms of chaos. Exciting times, and make us for a very different campaign so far than the other campaigns, as we haven't really, at least in my recent campaigns, well, I guess in any campaigns, fought in the realms of chaos in the old world. So I was very interested to see about getting those occupied for ourselves. Anyway, with that, the devoted Marauders of Slaanesh with spears are out, and the balance power has shifted to about 90% in our favor. Blue Fires comes down on a rallying unit of Hellstriders and makes sure that they don't come back. We've also moved to flank the other enemies with more Blue Horrors, and all that little Blue Fire spam will put to the last of the enemy units still fighting till rest. To rout, rather, not to rest. Well, eventually to rest. Actually, nobody gets rest because, you know, eternal damnation and all that. But anyway, and the last of the enemy units will be the Chaos Spawn, which will be brought down and give the battle to us. Very, very nice. I also like this blue, I don't know, blue grass that we've got going on here. Nice. Alright, there we go. We had very nice positioning. Tzeentch modified the land itself in the realm of the sorcerer for its favored minions here, and it certainly worked out well for us. Most of the enemy army is destroyed, so we should in theory not need the heal, and we'll take the money, which we will need to keep on recruiting, so that's what we'll do. Offers tribute. Ah, there it is, the war declaration from the Withered Eye. The betrayal is here, but we were expecting it, and I think, or at least I hope, we're ready for it. Gulgrog might attack the City of Splinters, but we now have Flamers there, so I think it should be safe. I was hoping to kill him with Kairos, but, well, hopefully it's fine. Oh, unless he... well, let's find out what he does. And he will attempt to go for Rel and the City of Splinters. Well, good luck to him. We have Doom Knights here now, and that alone is a pretty darn big difference. Plenty of Forsaken Pink Horrors, regular Chaos Knights, triple regular Flamers, and we got good stuff. Gulgrog, good luck, sir, and you know what? I appreciate that you attacked us. Gotta give credit where it's due, rather than waiting for us and our schemes to ensnare you and destroy you.
Tzeentch watches. Do not disappoint him.
Alrighty, I like the Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch's voices, or Chaos Lord of Tzeentch's voices. They're pretty darn nice, and they look pretty darn neat as well. I love the helmet. I'm a sucker for hats, generally speaking, and it's a pretty darn nice one. Anyway, here we go. We got a nice little battle ahead of us, and, well, we don't really have to worry about our casualties all that much. The only two units that we cannot afford to take damage to are the non-garrison units, so two of our units of Flamers. And of course I say this immediately as I allow them to sally out against enemies that are much faster than them, i.e. the Boar Boys. But we gotta get them, we gotta get these guys started. Alrighty, and here we go. Gonna start burninating the enemy lines of Boar Boys. Probably not going to do a crazy amount of damage. No, these guys certainly shrug off of those first volleys. And we're gonna back off. It's obviously more effective against the more tightly packed infantry than it is the Boar Boys. We can't back off fast enough to run away from these guys, but fortunately we have Doom Knights for that particular purpose, who are gonna come down upon the enemy. And they look kind of small compared to the orcs. But anyway. Come on, work those chaos steroids. Anyway, they're going to come down upon the Boar Boys and interfere with their ability to chase down our units of Flamers, and the Seekers, or Shriekers, Screamers, for the love of, are going to do the same thing. Alrighty, and another Boar Boy unit stopped in its tracks, and it looks like we should be safe to get back to our line. Ooh, looks like this one is very, very close to reaching us here, but our Flamers managed to make it back behind our line of Forsaken and Chaos Spawn. And yes, in theory, it's better to chase the to charge the enemy with our Spawn and Forsaken as well, because they're that type of unit. But at the same time, we're going to do much more damage with our Pink Horrors and our Flamers than we are with the Forsaken here, being a combined army. And also, it's better not to break up our formation. Anyway, over on our left flank, the enemy decides to move on in with those Savage Orc Boar Boys. And I believe, and Biggins as well. So there's 3 units here together. And, well, it's them versus the Chaos Knights. There we go. Now the Chaos Knights with those roided up ponies making the Boar Boys look small by comparison. Beautiful. And these guys are going to be embroiled in combat for a long, long time, so we'll leave them to it. In the meantime, more of the enemy units are moving on in. Forsaken look like they're being a little bit overwhelmed and probably taking decent bits of damage as well. Their HP max is 15k, so it's not too bad. And their armor is pretty solid, but they have basically no melee defense at only 20. Fortunately, the massively the Chaos Spawn, at least in the center of our line, is working decently well for us. The Flames of the Flamers, go figures, still working on the enemy, giving us some lovely visuals. Our Doom Knights continue to annoy the enemy Boar Boys, though they have at this point taken some damage to them, losing about 40% of their HP and 5 of their models. But they've distracted a lot of enemies, so they provided us quite a bit of value. Over on the back, it looks like one of the enemy units of Boar Boys has actually managed to peel away from the Chaos Knights, because it was 3-on-2, leaving us for a nice honorable 2-on-2, I guess, but more importantly, charging our Flamers and our Pink Horrors. That's alright though, because our Shrieking Skyrays, or rather our Screamers, have arrived, and they are anti-large specialized, and pretty darn solid against things like Boar Boys in particular. There we go. And with that unit of Boar Boys is out. The enemy's main line, by the looks of it, is very much on the verge of collapse. Cultist has some kind of explosion ability that sends a bunch of units flying. Looks pretty happy about it, and it opens up a little bit of a gap for our Flamers to continue firing, which they continue to do with a great effectiveness. There we go, right through the enemy trolls and the enemy Savage Orcs alike. And it looks like yet another unit is just about done for, wavering, winded, on fire, having a very bad day. And booking it on out of there as well. And I do believe the battle is just about done for. And ooh, hello, he looks like we found the enemy lord here. And though our Doom Knights are now damaged pretty severely, they still have a decent amount of models, and they have surrounded the enemy lord, who cannot escape this. Alrighty, and they have done pretty solid damage to him. He was at full HP as nothing else was attacking him, so this is all the Doom Knights. Though, oh wow, he's actually managed to kill, what, 4 of them? Pretty good. Alrighty, but he's just about done for and broken, and with him the rest of his army will soon follow suit. Any of the enemy Error Boys or Biggins or whatever that are still in the fight, still having a very difficult time achieving anything. Over on the very left flank, our units of Chaos Knights are still very much in the fight against the Boar Boys, however. They've been exchanging blows for the entire battle, and it's just taken a while for the Chaos Knights to take them out. With only 33 melee attack, no veterancy, no red line buffs, they're rather slow at killing without charging. But that's alright. Just keeping these guys distracted is well enough, and on top of that we've moved our Screamers in, which will add their anti-large element to the fray and bring those guys down a little bit faster. Not that by the looks of it we're going to need it, as with that the enemy Lord will shatter and the rest of the army will follow suit, giving the battle to us. Very, very nice. I really enjoyed that fight. We're definitely going to make a couple of generalist armies as well, in terms of combining various synergies and units together of various types, not just the sort of specific themed armies. Alright, I gotta appreciate the nice fight, so thank you to Mr. Gulgrog, and for the money as well, which will come in very handy. Our goal was to preserve our recruited Flamers, and they were completely untouched throughout the battle, as they were supposed to be. Solid damage on the Doom Knights, though they are somewhat fragile, and they did take damage themselves fighting those Savage Orcs. Forsaken did reasonably well as well. And obviously the most damage came out of the Flamers. Wow, 62k. Pretty solid, 335, and you were one of our new recruits, so I'm glad you got all of those kills. The Chaos Knights did struggle a little bit against the Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and we're kind of fighting evenly with them for most of the battle, most of the battle. Which I guess does make some degree of sense, though their magical damage should have been penetrating all that physical resistance of the Boar Boys. They were still taking a very, very long time to hack their way through them. Nonetheless, nice money. Thanks, Gilgrog. Also, I just realized his name was Gulgorg rather than Gulgrog, but whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter. Confederation, Reichland, and Hawkland are relevant to us. Hello, what do we have here? Fractured Class, melee attack -5 for enemies in range. I like it a lot. Melee attack -5 is going to come in very handy for the Forsaken army. They're gonna need it. Vassal Secedes, yes. I think we got that one. Hey, Research 8 Tex is up. Oh, that's where we got the Fractured Clasp from. Fair enough. And we got the Control, yes. This was the important turn. Let's first pick a new tech, and that new tech will be, I guess we're moving to Storm of Fire, so... Huh? Oh, I guess we have to get Treason of Tzeentch. In order to get Treason of Tzeentch, we have to get Cult of Change, which is a tier 5, meaning we can't get Storm of Fire, meaning we don't need to bother with this. I would really like the bonus targeting range for spells, but we need to see whether that's actually viable at the current time. What we want to do, sorry Archie, but we're going to take the Monolith of Akarak from you. Transfer settlement, Monolith of Akarak to us. He has enough territory. He's fine. We could transfer one of Kolek's territories back to him later. Yes. Monolith of Akarak to us. Then we will... Okay, let's just immediately see whether Kolek will take it. No, he won't. Alright, fine. We will take the turn to build 2 military structures there, 1 and 2, and then transfer it to him for vassalization of him and his other vassals next turn. Should be decently easy. How are you doing? Still okay? Still fighting those... Oh, actually, if he loses his... Ah, hello. Go for the defensive alliance at least. Wait, actually, how much would it cost to go for the military alliance? 402. Yeah, let's just go straight military alliance. Oh, wait. Whoa. Join war against Fester Clan Nest. Wait, no. Nah, we can't pay him money. We can't transfer settlements. Damn. Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, he might not become our vassal right now, but at the very least, I think we'll do the military alliance, and hopefully we can vassalize him later. Either way, we want those beastmen, well, just generally speaking, units. Hopefully he builds enough, you know, sort of recruitment stuff that we can actually get some of the decent ones. I don't expect any of the really good ones, but I expect at least some of the decent ones. Anyway... We need them for theme purposes. Kairos. Okay, so you're first, and this is just about the edge of your range anyway, so I guess what we can do is... Well, we can just chase him down. I was gonna say teleport, but there's no real need. You go here. You reinforce. We'll auto-resolve the remnants of this, and... Oh, that is so rude. We told you, we purposely positioned this full stack on top of the Trails of Kashut with the understanding that these guys can easily take it. There's basically no defenders, but of course, the AI will never attack the AI. The AI will only attack the players, so it completely ignores them. And they are at war because they joined the war with us, so it's obnoxious. Alrighty, go here. Alright, and we might as well pick the targeting range tech as well. We have the spare grimoires, so... And we gotta use them. Alrighty, we'll auto-resolve this. Hopefully it doesn't do too much in the way of damage. Good lord. That's a crazy amount of damage. Okay, that was way more than I was expecting. This is a decent amount of money, but good lord. Alright, Sword of Battle, Potion of Foolhardiness will turn into something useful, hopefully, soon. You. We're going to go for Champions of Change for targeting range plus 50%. It's a very significant buff for every single one of our casters. Now, you guys are going to Crystal Labyrinth. You guys will... Wait, no. You guys... Why are there 3 of you again? Oh, don't tell me you can't reach the place. Oh, you're just short. Oh, game. But why? All right. Okay. You're gonna go into ambush right here, Mr. Farmort. You are going to transfer to Mr. Farmort all of the appropriate units. Like so. You are also going to go into ambush stance. Like so. You are going to transfer the iridescent core to him. Can't believe you're out of range as well. I was hoping to move on in this turn then. Okay, these guys are certainly not moving down towards us. I feel like there was something else I wanted to do, but I'm no longer recollecting as to what it was. We want to sack this place. Yes, we want to sack this place, auto-resolve. And then sack to get the completed quest. There we go. For more money, and then we'll immediately occupy it. Like so. And then we'll pop you, at least briefly, into... Wait, how's the Tzeentch? Oh, Tzeentch Corruption is maxed out here. We will not collect income. We will immediately go into delete this, repair this. We will also go into control. And there we go. Oh, that looks decent. Alright, so you're where you're supposed to be. Next up, we want to go into Changing of the Ways, not Halt Army, but Reveal Shroud on the Chaos Dwarfs. Somewhere up here. Chaos Dwarfs. They will be probably the next ones we vassalize. So we'll keep an eye on them. As long as they're growing in terms of strength, we don't necessarily need to vassalize yet, because I still feel like doing that will curtail our ability, or their abilities, so you gotta be careful. Oh! Black Skull Mountain is not... Oh, it is their capital. Darn, I was hoping to transfer it to these guys. Without taking one of their territories, but oh well. Okay, so what I was hoping was that would give us vision of a faction out here that we could declare war on with everybody. Alright, hopefully the vassalization of Mr. Kolek will do that for us then. And because that... Well, alright. Let's find out shortly. Next up, let's see what we got in terms of heroes. Cultists. I do like the ward save and the magic item drop chance. Fixated. Ooh, greater magic bond. That's good for Kairos. Lovely research rate and spell mastery, though in Kairos' personal army it isn't as relevant. Now, Kairos currently has you, another fixated guy, and you, the Tormentor. I do like the extra barrier hit points as well. And the additional magic power reserve. Okay, so here's a problem. Kairos does not currently have this, the Mastery of Elemental Wind, so we need to have at least one unit with him, or one hero with him, and that gives that to him. We need to keep an eye on that. In the meantime, though, let us get some stuff. Let's see. Hero recruit rank +2 for iridescent cores, and causes terror for all iridescent cores. This is wins a magic power reserve. This is just a significant barrier power-up. And this is chance of winds of magic increasing. Both of these are good. We'll start with thaumaturgic rejuvenation, I guess. Because we're not getting any more iridescent cores right now because we don't have the capacity for them. We do have these guys, though. Do we have... we have another one of these tormentors. Actually, the bound spirit leech on a guy on a disc is a pretty decent option now that I think about it. Yeah. Alright, fine. We'll get you on field. And we will also... we might put you in with a cold hellbrass. Greater magic, or magic bond, rather. Get Kairos a bunch of these guys with magic bonds. He'll just do everything himself. I mean, maybe. You know, I'll wait on it for a little bit. I don't want to overextend. Cruel... the main thing about the cultists getting greater magic bond, the issue is it doesn't give them any kind of physical buffs, as in fixated at least gives them ward save, and that will protect them because they're going to be on war shrines in pretty much every army that they're in. You know, we could double up on the fixated ones, and hey, yeah, you can get those at Gates of Tzeentch, by the way. Double up on 2 fixated ones to give Aecold his hellbreast, his shrine. That's what we'll do. Let's get another fixated one then. Yeah, I like it. Alrighty. Aecold's army is already taking shape before he's on field, which is a very Tzeentchian way to do it, so I gotta appreciate it. Alright, so you guys are good where you are. You are no longer needed here, and we'll be able to move to transfer all of these units. Okay, the armies are coming together. As soon as this place is done, we'll be able to spread down into the territories around us here, and possibly invade the other realms of the gods. I like it a lot. Alright, you stay where you are, you're fine. Corruption is fine. Actually, wait, you don't need to channel anymore, so just sit in the Ruins of the Dead King, which will save us a little tiny bit of money. You guys, I guess, are stuck as well. I guess you can push towards Grungut's Monolith. Huh. Wait, actually, idea. Go into ambush. And then sit here. We'll swap their units shortly, but for now, let's channel and then stick around. Like so. Alrighty, as for... None of you are Whisperers, right? Wait, I wanna see. You're Diabolical, so that's a Malevolent Ranger. And Rel is... Oh, Rel is the Whisperer, and he's the Chaos. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna be the commander for Cold Hellbrass. And we could get this Changebringer up and running here. Or we could get another Whisperer up and running for the Sangor army. Physical resistance. That'd be better. I gotta think about this. But I'll do it next turn. As in not this turn. Let's do building, let's end the turn, and then see what else we've got. Okay, we are not building anything here because we don't need to overspend right now. Eyrie of the Watcher, yes to the Cultist outposts. Dolganyar Forest, if we can afford you, we'll upgrade you. Mountains of Questioning, we will definitely upgrade you, however. Ruins of the Dead King, yes to the money. Then yeah, fine, we'll upgrade you. I think it's not yet time. Well, if we build this and we start building Zangors here, we could recruit the loss of how much growth? I don't like the loss of growth. Yeah, you know what? I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Keep it as it is. It's a single territory. We'll switch it to tier 5 at its final point, although by that point we might not actually be building armies in this particular location. We'll probably have to make a military province in the center of each of the realms of the gods, because they can transfer or travel through to the other realms and then invade the mortal lands via those routes. I think that's the best way to do it. Anyway, the rest of this I believe is good, so we're ready to end the turn. Just double checking if I'm forgetting anything. I'm just going to hope that I'm not. We do have another Reveal Shroud available to us. We could reveal these guys, but I don't know what that'll do in terms of whether it's beneficial to us. Well, you know what? And we don't know whether they don't have another army running around here, which... Let's be safe. Perform. Do they have another army? They do not. That was a waste of 50 Grimoires, but fortunately we're making a decent amount per turn. Skip. Cult upgrade available, and wait. There we go. I forgot about this. Who's worth more? Vicious Beardburner is worth less. Nah, well, let's split it up because, well, I don't actually care about the corn one, but split it up because... Well, whoever's worth more, I guess. Yeah. Vicious Burner. Alright, looks good to me. End turn. Yes. Reichland is a regional power. Oh, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic, considering our cult proliferation will most likely allow us to fight the Imperials. I'm very glad to see this, because Reichland was doing horribly in my Thorgrim campaign, but I guess it seems to be that your allies tend to do poorly, and then your friends tend to do... Or your enemies tend to do well in these, in this, no matter who you play. Ally mission successful, Schemer. Ambush success chance, Amonchakai. Yeah, he's been doing it a lot. And, hey, another Scepter of Entropy. Beautiful. We're getting some good stuff. Targeting range, Nemesis Crown claimed by Dreadcut. That checks out. And, more importantly, you. Enjoy yourself a Monolith of Akarak for some nice vassalization, and give us your money as well. And bring 2 more vassals into the Tzeentch fold. Beautiful. Now, let's see what that... Oh, also missions. Ally mission... I mean, we'll still take out Mr. Vicious here. Hopefully. Hopefully these guys don't take him out. Vicious. Then we'll take Nass, and there we go. Lots and lots of vessels, meaning lots and lots of units. Hey, how dare you run? That is tremendously rude. Alrighty, so... What we want to do is this. Does Farmort have Siege Attacker? Yes, we do. Alright, so you're going to besiege Crystal Labyrinth. I assume it should be relatively auto-resolve-y. You're going to lose 1 Forsaken. Ugh, it's so annoying to pay for the units. At the same time, we should probably... risk them sallying out? Or should we just assault the place? I'll think about it. Alright, so you're going to move in. And is this a demonic lurker structure? I think it's just being constructed, so it's not up and running yet. Amon Chakai, you will move in and reinforce in this stance. Arvak's Balefire. I guess we want you to leech XP, so you can still stay here.
You may touch me only in dreams.
I was wondering whether we should send him to kill out both of these heralds. It's just that I'm a little bit worried that without the ability to cast, he might not be able to. They have 66 melee defense. I don't know. Probably risky. Also, are we able to auto-resolve this, or do we have to fight? Close victory. No, it looks like we're going to have to manually fight this. All right, fair enough. We'll manually fight this, which means we are going to bring you in and fight this instead. And then I guess somebody else will hunt down these two. All right, you're in. I'm on Chikai. Probably I should have had you lead the charge or whatever. We're going to need to level everybody up as well. You, sir. Farmort, you are going to go straight into Dominating Presence, Corrupt Mage, and Vile Enchanter, because you're going to be, or you are, our leader of Forsaken Chaos Spawn. Wait, can we even build Chaos Feral Manticores? I guess we'll find out. You're going to want Chaos Vanguard for the power-up of the Forsaken. And just to double-check that they don't double-dip into anything. Because they need as much buffs as we can get. And yes, we will get monster strength for these guys as well. But it looks like we're okay. You will need to get your casting abilities, but I want these guys maxed out as much as possible, simply because we have other ways of casting in this particular fight. Iridescent Horror, your replenished troops needs to be maxed out, but let's actually get Infernal Gateway, at least for this one fight. We're going to replace that one anyway. You can have Dominating Presence and... I'm going to say Root Marcher for now. You will be leading an army, but you're not leading one yet. Alright, you guys are going to attack in a second. Everybody else. Okay, so we're fine down here. You, Vizier Fate Blaze. Can you... you can't go up here? Man, okay, fine. I guess it might then be faster to... Well, actually it probably wouldn't. Alright, fine. Go here. Go into channeling mode. You still need to swap all these units. And then go right here. Veritas Painbringer, we're only leveling you in order to... Also lose all these items. In order to eventually evolve you, but we are still leveling you, so keep traveling with you. We'll still need to overwhelm the Slaneshi here, and, well, here in a second. Alright, those guys have moved. Kairos. You're still fairly damaged. Are you able to reach Gungrot's Monolith? What do we have here? Fairly poorly defended, though from what we've seen, the auto-resolve probably will still hurt us. Are either of you possibly able to reach the place instead of Kairos? Darn, no. I was hoping to ambush Vicious Beardburner, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Alright, fine, fair enough. Kairos, go into Gungrot's. Need more XP for those blue scribes after all, and then you two are going to move on and reinforce, and we might have to fight this manually or else we'll take too much damage. And we'll swap all these units shortly. It's working on it. Alright. Like so and like so. As soon as you guys move, I want to see what this looks like. Alright, and it is decisive victory at casualties low now. I don't want to waste our time, so even though this will hurt, we'll just auto-resolve it anyway, and occupy the place. Alright, Burning Chariot for Massacres the Infinite. Now, if I'm recalling correctly, and anybody who's recently played the Tzeentch, let me know, as I recall, Iridescent Horror's Burning Chariot isn't like a regular Burning Chariot, it's a useless version, it's basically just a bigger disc. It doesn't change the attacks of the Iridescent Horrors into Burning Chariot-style attacks, he still just sits there and chucks a tiny little ball of fire at you, just as he does on the disc, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, it looks to be the same. He just gets a little bit of extra... No extra armor, a little bit of extra HP, 1,000. Loses... gets a little bit of extra weapon strength, and loses a little bit of speed. Generally speaking, the disc, I think, is actually the safer mount, so we're going to keep you on the disc then. Because it's a smaller target and it's faster. These guys aren't trying to get themselves into melee anyway. And yes, you can use the Burning Chariot like an actual chariot and move it into the onto the ground, but if it gets trapped, you're in a bad way, so I'd rather not. You can channel, and you can channel. Would have preferred to get corruption, but it is what it is. Anyway, how's our tribute looking? 2,000, not bad. We've also gained additional vision now. Is there someone we could declare war on? Ooh, another vassal potential. You guys are looking pretty okay. Actually, let's just see what other vassalage options we have here. Third Host of Murder. They're having a bad time against Loish's Indulgence, or rather Exquisite Pain here. And they're fighting another Cornate faction, which checks out. The rest of this is looking not as viable. The Pearlescent wants to be a defensive ally, but will eventually confederate you, so it's not super worth our time. And then a bunch of orcs want to be friends, whereas we don't. How's that Harbinger of Disaster looking? Oh, right, because of the military alliance, I assume that they are a lot less willing to now become our vassal, but hopefully we can eventually change that. Changing of the Ways, we've got 6 turns. Alright, I guess it's time to assault the enemy keep. Fair enough. Alrighty, Arvax, Balefire, no. Farmort, Foemaker, Woemaker. You make some foes as well. Alrighty, huh, now it's just... Wait, the only thing we changed was moving this guy in. Because frankly, this was kind of not worth it. We just overwhelmed the enemy to a hilarious degree. You know, and I think we'll just auto-resolve it. We can get better fights than this. Yeah, just auto-resolve it, whatever. Oh, what we did was put red line in the, for the Chaos Spawn and for the Forsaken. That's what changed it. But, you know, makes sense. Magpie. Alright, Chaos Steed and Crystal Labyrinth. Those ambushes really did number on these guys. Ah, but now... You two... can chase this guy down, I assume. Can you go into March stance? Yes, you can. Alright, go here. I don't know whether you can actually move or how far you can. If you can, we'll find out in a second. Not that far. Kill them both. Don't tell me they survived. No, we're good. Ally mission successful. Beautiful. Honored guest. Immunity to Tzeentch attrition. Yeah, well, that's everybody in our faction. And you guys stay together for now? And I guess you can... actually, you're going to move up to the Impossible Fortress, or back to the Impossible Fortress. You'll be recruiting. Oh! You can recruit more Chaos Spawn here. Alright. I guess we'll recruit 2 more Spawn for you then, while we're here. We're going to replace at least 2 of them with Mutilith Vortex Beasts, and oh wow, you are barely healing. I guess we're going to need an Iridescent Horror in this army too. It looks like we're going to need them in every army. And this army is more heavily damaged, so I guess we'll transfer the Iridescent Horror between you two. Yeah, we're really going to need additional Iridescent Horror capacity then, since they have the replenishment. Oh, fair enough. You're staying where you are, Amanchika. You're good, you're not healing as much, but it is what it is. And you're going to go recruit some stuff for us. You're probably going to be the Norskin army. Yes. Alright, anyway, let's do some building. We still need as much cash flow as possible. That has not changed and will not be changing for a long time. Zamaski, I'd love to upgrade you, but you're expensive. Same thing for that. Ah, okay, here. Lost Athenium and Dolganyire. And we want, I assume, more cultist capacity. Iridescent cores we could get from minor settlements. And we can get... well, frankly, without any more... critical sort of infrastructure buildings, we can get whatever. Yeah, get the Cult of Secrets. 3,000. Wait, I just want to see what we have capacity more of. So we have 3 out of 3. Okay, so Cultist was the obvious one. Iridescent Core is the second. We have 2 out of 4 in terms of Chaos Sorks. And what about Exalted Heroes? Probably want those Exalted Heroes in various forces as well to command any kind of melee line we have. So I'm going to say Exalted Heroes probably the one to do next. Yeah, we'll do some Exalted Heroes. Alright. And Dolganyar, if I can find you again, let's do the Exalted Hero line, which is this line. It's expensive, though. But the first tier will give us the capacity anyway. And we'll need additional capacity for Soul Grinders and Chaos Knights and various things, so might as well. Alright, Eerie of the Watcher. Aha, okay, so this gives us money, and this gives us... not money, but Grimoires, and Citadel of the Iron Knight, the new place. I guess we'll start with the money-making web of secrets. Oh, you won't be collecting income for a while, though. I guess you can at least collect some tiny amount of Grimoires. Yeah, fine, do it. Alright, and the rest of that looks good to me. And, oh, Crystal Labyrinth. Alright, you're in new territory. We got the Weave of Time from you. Let's immediately pop you into the Architect's Theorem. Let's also double-check Winds of Magic. You're generating a bit of money, so we're not going to lose the cash-making capability, but we can lose it here. Pump up this place, and here. And, oh, wait. Well, you... No, because then the guys will start losing mana here, which I don't like. The rest of this looks okay. This is a 50 gold loss, which is not super significant. And then this is another 50 gold loss. I'm just going to hope that it's not going to be significant. There we go. Start pumping those up, and let's take a look at the same thing on the other side of the map. Alright, all the bouncing back and forth is something. Alright, these actually generate a lot of money, so we can't do anything about them in terms of having to keep them maxed out, or else we lose 2 significant amounts of cash. Next, we take the tech. We got the Champions of Change. I don't think there's anything else here that was super critical to get. I do like the local recruitment duration reduction, but it isn't super critical right now. Allied units. bonuses, which will be fantastic and useful for us. Oh, wait. We get 15% bonus bearer replenishment rate and 15% reduction into... Oh, right. I remember that. We have to account for that. Okay. Which we will. Ooh, casualty replenishment rate for Spawn and Tzeentch. Let's go for that. Spawn and Forsaken. I guess the recruitment cost would have been helpful earlier, but, well, whatever. It's not like we're not going to build more, so may as well. Alright, looks good to me. Let's skip the turn, keep taking out those Greenskins and those Slaaneshi. Do we really want to get into that realm of corn, but we'll get there. Khalid al-Muntazir, who now leads the Cult of Mordig, will declare war on us, and will, well, I mean, we were going to declare war on Bel Aliad anyway, so that hasn't changed. What has changed, or the main issue with this, is that we now need to move down there immediately, or else we lose the location. Yeah. On the bright side, we will call all of our vassals to help, because, oh, hopefully Harbinger of Disasters won't say no. But we do want to complete more quests, so we're gonna have to call. I was absolutely expecting the Beastmen to refuse, but they have a tendency to. The problem with this is now all of our allies will dislike the Beastmen by virtue of breaking our agreement. I really think that this... You need to... There should be like a checkmark thing, like what if I specifically don't want to call the Beastmen? I shouldn't have to. It's really quite an irritating menu. And this in particular because I really wanted those Beastmen units, but what can you do? Hopefully we can still force vassalize them at some point. Alright, I'm hoping that these rebels can actually take the Trails of Hashut, but they're kind of being meh about it. Anyway, Constructor, that's fine. So, here what we want to do is now swap some units. We will also want to move down to Gregamugar, but we can't do so right now, or don't want to do so right now. Alright, so, at last the time has come for several switches. You, Mr. Whisperer, will be commanding... Okay. You will take the Marauders. And I guess the Knights, but let's just keep them like this for now. You, Ragnar Heldenmouth, you will be leading the Blue Scribes. I mean, the main issue right now is that while we do want you to lead the Blue Scribes, we also... let me just think about this. Alright, take the two Furies. And then we'll move you into ambush stance right here. We still want to destroy these guys, and then we'll pop you guys both right here in the hopes that these guys try to attack you. Anyway, the... What's the likelihood that they get around us and go for Gungrut's Monolith? Grunguts, whatever. I guess we're gonna find out. How's the Tzeentch Corruption here? It's actually pretty okay, so... We'll be okay. You can, however, do the Tzeentch Corruption thing. I guess you can switch to it as well. Yeah. Anyway, you two... Oh. Maybe we want to lose a couple of the Furies. Kairos is healing. I'm a little bit worried about this guy not attacking them because they think that the force is too strong. I want to keep the Blue Scribes in this army for at least a few more fights, maybe while we take out all the Greenskins, just to get the additional buffs on them. It seems like the better way to do it. Oh, huh. The USAC are allied with the Loish's Indulgence here. We might be able to get this one Slaaneshi faction to become our vassal by taking this territory from these guys and then getting these guys, because they're in the mountains, we don't really need them. And I do like the idea of having one champion of all of the gods to be our minion. But maybe destroying the greater demons because they're, well, gotta prove that Tzeentch is the champion of the great game, or the winner of the great game. Anyway, I think they'll still attack, or at least I hope they will. So just pop into this army and then we'll find out. Like so, and like so. And Kairos, you know what? I'm gonna give you a Manchakai's item to increase your ambush capabilities. If it actually works, I guess we'll find out. Thaumaturgic Rejuvenation details. Lose the Ancient Mutant because we can transfer to another item. Gotta also transfer some of these items. Yeah, we're gonna deal with itemization a little bit. We started to rack up a fairly decent bit. Like all these Pigeon Plucker pendants. That's nice. We have to keep the Rod of Whimsy. Wand of Whimsy. So that should giggle. Let's lose the Channeling Staff and the Power Stone here. Another Ether Blade. Alright, all of these will be transferred to actual lords. Technically, right now, we only have 2 full lords up and running, which is why I'm not super concerned about giving them all items as yet. Blue scribes. You don't have items? Oh, thought you did. Okay, now the blue scribes will be casting constantly. Prismatic amplifier is fine, but I'm inclined to say that they're rather weak, and then maybe being a legendary lord sort of deal, they should probably have a Scepter of Entropy. I'll give it to them right now. I might change it up later, but I'd really, like, if they get caught by anything, it's very dangerous, so let's do this for now, and then we'll oh, you know what, you can also have Kairos' Tzeentch Mutant, which is the main reason I was here in the first place, and, oh, we got other Tzeentch Mutants. Alright, everybody who's anybody, take a Tzeentch Mutant. It doesn't really matter who does, as long as everybody has one, just to increase the relationship with the other Chaos factions. Then, Kairos, you will take that ambush guy. I don't remember who it was. Conspiracy Theorist? No. Mythomaniac? No. Oh, you don't have a Mythomaniac? Okay, if anybody should have a Mythomaniac, it's you. Let's see. I do like the Scarecrow banner here. I don't dislike the Tzeentch Familiar, and the Banner of Change is fine, at least for now. Fine, you know what? Lose the Scarecrow banner, grab the Schemer. Alright, did that change it to 55%? Yes, indeed it did. Alright, let's hope that that works out. Alright, you're now good, Kairos. Now let's move everybody else around. You two are going to start by teleporting up here, like so, and like so. I'll lose some of your mana that way, but that's fine. Arvok's Balefire. I guess I still haven't decided whether you're going to be leading Sandgors or Marauders, but since we've got a decent amount of Marauder stuff here, that may be the case. These guys can become Forsaken, so we can just keep them as they are for now. You will move here. And you and Amon Chakai will move together until we're ready to separate you into different armies. Although, actually, speaking of Amon Chakai, I would really like you to heal a little bit more. Alright, Amon Chakai, move here, transfer... I'm gonna swap some units around. The hurt units, because you have... Oh, or take the Iridescent Horror. Take the Iridescent Horror, I guess. Yeah. It's actually supposed to be in your army in the first place. Alright. And these guys are still hanging around Frozen Moon. I guess they're in a bit of a deadlock with Khorne, because they know that they will move as soon as they do. So, yeah, that's fine. You and Drillas will need to, I guess, march stance this way. We need to get to the Portal of Twilight before the undead hit us. We also have some defenses here, and we do have walls. Well, let's hope that it'll be okay. Until we... Oh, right, I've completely forgot there was a Nurglite faction here as well. Well, we'll have some fun with them as well. Gotta take the entire place for ourselves. Minus possibly if we keep them around, these guys at the Eternity Stair. I kind of like the idea of Tzeentch having manipulated a Khornate faction to guard the gateway between his realm and the realm of Slaanesh, because Tzeentch and Nurgle are rivals, and Khorne and Slaanesh are rivals and hate each other more than, well, more than the Chaos Gods generally hate each other. So, I don't know. I like this general idea. Anyway. As hateful as Khorne is to magic's general, well, somewhat. Alright, anyway, I believe that's an end turn unless I'm mistaken. Oh, actually it isn't. We got building. Alright, skip that, skip Zamoski, skip this for now because it's expensive. Okay, you know what, let's actually invest in these. Mountains of Questioning. You're collecting money, and I wanted to invest in this. We'll upgrade Zamoski in a second, I assume, assuming we don't need to spend money elsewhere. 9th Library, yes to the upgrade. And Citadel of the Iron Knight, yes to the upgrade. And we don't have any more money, so no more recruiting. End turn. Alrighty, it looks like the ambush has failed, but I guess because we're so damaged, the battle counts as a Pyrrhic victory. Alright, fair enough. I mean, it's been too long since we've fought a battle this episode, so let's fight it.
Battle is joined! Tzeentch watches! Do not disappoint him!
Alrighty, here we go. Oh, I like the sort of white, blue, and gold cloak of the Chaos Sorcerer. Yeah, Tzeentch units have always looked fantastic, and that absolutely hasn't changed. Chaos Lord, Sorcerer, and Cultist all going to be working together nicely here. Anyway, we are going to wait for our reinforcements to arrive, but the enemy is waiting for their Wa to arrive at the same time, so that works decently well for us, as that's going to allow Kairos to make his way onto the battlefield. And frankly, compared to Kairos, nothing else in our army really matters, because he could probably destroy most, if not all, of the enemy army himself, even without too many points in his unique line as yet. He's powering up our faction, but still being an obnoxiously strong caster. Case in point, we're going to get a Gehenna's Golden Hounds overcast through the middle of the enemy blob here. Going to get the Book of Secrets debuffing them. I was hoping for the Fate of Biuna variant rather than the whatever that one was, Enfeebling Foe variant, but all good. Sort of random nature of Tzeentch. And otherwise, just spamming those spells. Blue fires into the enemy below and just keep on casting and damaging the enemies. And of course, we do have other units to help out. The Golden Griffin of Theurgy gets another Gehenna's Golden Hounds down on the Boar Boys, stops them in their tracks using that vortex, and then gets blue fires to knock down as many of them as possible as well. I'm going to activate an Infernal Gateway with the Blue Scribes, who start with all of the Tzeentch lore available to them. But as soon as we level them up, they'll start doing the sort of random all spells thing that they do. Plus, this thing is a good use here, as not only does it damage that units of Boar Boys heavily, it keeps them trapped in place and unable to make it to our main line. Speaking of our main line, though, it looks like the first of the enemies are finally starting to move towards us, taking blue and pink fires and whatever other spells that we're slinging at them as they go. And as soon as the enemy arrives right in front of our units, we open gates of Tzeentch, having blue horrors head out of them. Pink horrors will be joining them, and Lords of Change will be joining them as well. I love opening the gates just as the enemy charges on and screwing up their charge, and of course wasting the enemy's time with summoned units. And there we go, the horrific battlefield of the Eldritch Fire that the Tzeentch armies are masters of. Will now show itself well here. Another pink horror summoned in the midst of the enemy blob, trapping them in place for more spells and more damage from the rest of our army. And it is absolutely disgusting. There we go, Flamers doing good work. Ooh, it looks like another enemy unit nearly managed to charge our units of Flamers, but yet another unit of summoned pink horrors will continue to get in their way. Fantastic. Alright, and of course, while we've been doing this, Kairos and the rest of our units have all been casting. There's another blue fire, saw Searing Doom come down as well. Flames going over the heads or even through our summoned units, but of course their casualties hardly matter. And yeah, they have not reached our main line at all here. Granted, this probably means we're not getting any XP on the Marauders of Tzeentch, but this was too glorious a moment to pass up, especially since this is several armies, sort of single entities are joined together. So we could do this a little bit more here than we otherwise might be able to. An enemy lord, or hero rather, a River Troll Hag, gets sniped by blue fire from Kairos and the other two summoned Lords of Change. Oh, the bug is back. Alright, maybe it's on distant units. Yeah, it seems to disappear when you're at. Actually, not really. Oh, they're still kind of freakily glowy, but it's, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Still not as bad as it used to be. Hi, Griffin. You get pets. Anyway, with that, I do believe the battle is ours. The enemy army shatters, and there was just far too much spell work between Kairos, the Golden Griffin, and the Blue Scribes. Oh, little wave between all of these guys for the enemy to do anything. Fantastic. All right. Alright, there we go. 0 losses, those poor greenskins. All the summons and magics and flames of our units coming down upon them and obliterating them. And while we could heal, there's probably no reason to do so right now, so I'd rather have the cash and keep investing. Alright, ally mission successful. These guys have now taken the trails of Kashyyyk. Oh, they've revived a nice full stack. Well, isn't that lovely for our future fighting? Enemy killed in battle, Orc's Bane, and Potion of Strength, Power Stone, Sword of Strife. I'm picking up those items. Ben, Meyer, and Rel, okay, everybody's getting their mounts. Oh, Ragnar held a mouth here on Chaos War Shrine as well. Probably you're going to be a Disc Rider rather than a Chaos War Shrine Rider, but we will see. Are we able to reach this immediately? We are. Ooh, we gotta be very careful about it lest we run out of movement range, and I do want another fight, so a fight shall be gotten. This place is walled, but it's full of breaches. Huh. Okay, fine. We'll find the... we'll fight at those walls. Go here. And I'm going to assume that after taking this guy out... Why didn't I move the other one in first? Retreat. Okay, hopefully that didn't cripple your movement range. You know what? Go into March stance. We'll have you move in like... Okay, game, you're making this difficult. Please move. Thank you. Alrighty, then you're gonna go here. Then we'll auto-resolve this. Nope, I lied. We will not auto-resolve this. We will take a look at missions. Aha. And, ooh, we got 100 with the Talkmars, though they don't offer any new mission to us, but nonetheless, we're going to take out Mr. Durkit Rotgut next, because it's a guarantee. Durkit Rotgut, and Durkit Rotgut, and Durkit Rotgut, and why does some appear and then disappear like that? Is there like a limit on the number of missions you can have at once against the same character? What is that? Anyway, what I wanted to do other than that was, I mean, obviously we'll want to occupy the place, which we will deal with in a second. There was something else I wanted, but I can't remember what it was, which means, if I can't remember it, we can't do it, which means we're gonna fight. Alrighty, so you, try that again. Go after this guy. We'll auto-resolve. Yes, it's probably gonna damage us unnecessarily much, but it is what it is, and yes, indeed it did. You're very badly damaged. Now, before, since we can just recover him with Kairos, it doesn't really matter. And we'll pick up the money. Alright, then speaking of Kairos, ally mission successful, beautiful. I actually just remembered what I wanted to do. I wanted to... Can Kairos reach this? Yes. I wanted to... Let's get a temporary lord up and running immediately. Actually, unless there's a... there's another whisperer. Keep picking up these whisperers, but they're pretty good, so not a bad idea. Tzeentch's Confidant. Physical resistance. The Tsangors and Centaurs could maybe use that. I wonder if it would be better to have a Demon Prince leading the Beastman, because it looks like none of our current lords or heroes buff them in any way. And I imagine we're better off buffing or making them tankier with either a Chaos Sorcerer Lord or a Lord. Let's do you, Tzeentch's Confidant, and then... She weren't so expensive, but yeah, let's get you on... Oh, wait, I lied. No. If we want the Norscan army down here, then we'll want to generate units down here. So, Mr. Arvax, since you're probably going to be commanding them, go here. We'll see about your recruitment. And we got some Marauder Champions, should we want them. They're expensive, but they work. And, ooh, we got Feral Mammoths, Norscan Giants, Manticores. I want Ice Trolls, not regular Norscan Trolls. Marauder Horsemasters are quite nice, but our own Marauder Horses are better. I'd like Norscan Whalers rather than Marauders with Javelins, but what we could do is temporarily make use of Marauder Hunters with Javelins in that army, and then replace them with Whalers once our army sort of techs up. We still will probably want the Marauder Champions as well, though. And we'll want Mammoths. You know what? I'm probably going to get the mod that'll increase the number of units so we can get 4 isn't enough. I gotta have at least 6 or something like that, right? Giants will be nice with them. Well, Norscan Giants specifically will be nice in there as well, but the Mammoths just feel so much more appropriate. Yeah, these guys are rather weak to be the main. Alright, fine. We'll probably do at least a couple of the Marauder Champions. For now, though, because they're cheap, we'll start with some Marauder Hunters with Javelins to eventually be replaced. I mostly just want to get rid of at least some of the Allegiance because it's, you know, it would be wasteful otherwise. Alright, and I believe we are ready to go. Oh, new mission. Frankly, we're probably not taking any units from Archaon, so that one doesn't really matter as much, but anyway. Let's do this fight now. And keep leveling the blue scribes. Actually, speaking of the blue scribes, let us unlock, first of all, Gyran. I mean, we'll unlock them all, but anything significant here? Winds of Magic. Ooh, I do like the Winds of Magic cost reduction. What does Funnel Magic do? Winds of Magic power reserve is increased by an additional 15% in the army, which is great as well. Oh, they have Steel Tech, go figure. And they got lots of buffs for various types of horrors, which makes sense since they're going to be leading a horror army. Or, well, not leading, but you know what I mean. Ah, melee attack plus 10 plus 20. Defense will work out nicely with that Scepter of Entropy. Adds blue flame explosions to the blue scribes' attacks, just double checking everything, and then makes them a little bit stronger in terms of their damage. Let's get Beastwind because we haven't been using it. I'm gonna say Shyish last. Mostly for Spirit Leech if they can get it. Alright, the rest of that looks good. Kairos, you're going to declare war on these guys now. That's not gonna happen. Declare war. Yes, can't bring the Beastmen anymore because they're not in it anymore. But these guys have served their purpose. And now they will die, having served their purpose. Or having outlived their usefulness, that's the one. We'll attack you in a sec, get the banner change on, I don't know, the Chaos Knights. I gotta remember to put the other banner of change on one of our other armies, which I will hopefully do so. Anyway. These guys are very nearly ready to split off. Once again, once we're done with the Orcs, we're splitting this into 3 different armies. Kairos and one other army will move up the Bastion Stair into the Realm of Corn, and then one will probably stick around here somewhere to fight something. We should probably fight Zhao Ming, but I think that might be, considering the buffs for Zhao Ming give you extra armor, might be better for a Cold Hellbrass to deal with. Seems like the thing. Anyway, we do have other levels, but I think we don't really need them here. And I do want to fight this because it's a full stack, so fight we will go. Alrighty, Kairos actually looks pretty darn good in the Darklands color scheme, as in the on these types of maps with this type of lighting. There we go. I couldn't figure out how to say that. Anyway, here we go. Not that he doesn't look great in the whole classic Tzeentch thing. Here we go. The pink fires are going to start the day by dishing out massive damage to those poor old gobos with spears. But that's not all, of course. The Gehenna's Golden Hounds are going to smash asunder 2 units of Goblin Archers. We've got a Soul Leech of Tzeentch ready to come down. Another blue fires, as well as Kairos makes his way forward and into the enemy settlement. He's got flyers as well. Maybe not to the degree of a Manchikai, but plenty for the early games. The Furies come down on all the units on the walls, and those 4 relatively weak units will be torn to shreds. Our Flamers have arrived as well, firing their flames, as one does, through the enemy line, and our Chaos Knights are making their way into the enemy settlement, together with the Golden Griffin of Theurgy, who is going to cast a Searing Doom down upon a unit of Gobs, who move away just a little bit too late and take about 40% of their HP and damage. Bounce power already at about 85% in our favor. But hardly unexpected. It was a heavily breached settlement and a newly minted army, as it were, from those rebels reclaiming the settlement. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have made their way in and are facing off against some Gobos, together with some, well, other Gobos, but the Goblin Wolf Riders. But of course, look at the tiny little gobos compared to the Knights of Tzeentch. Of course, these guys have no chance here, and the Knights of Tzeentch should be able to deal with them no problem. The enemy Lord has taken quite a bit of damage, getting fried by our Flamers, and then obliterated by the combination of them and the Golden Griffin of Theurgy that will not let him leave. And I believe, no, he's got 331 HP, but he has, more importantly, Shattered here, so he's done for either way. Alright, and it looks like some Wolf Riders will use their massive speed to actually close the distance and manage to get a little bit closer to those Flamers of ours. That's going to be a little bit dangerous. We're going to have to be careful and actually back them off, as these guys can certainly dish out damage to the extremely fragile Flamers without other units there to back them up. At least in a few seconds. Just in case, we're going to start healing them rather shortly. They have lost about 30% of their HP. And there we go. Gonna double up on those heals, and we're going to open up an emergency pile of blue cores. Gonna get them regrowth and an unholy pact of the changer, which should heal them to full, I believe, -1 unit, which might have, yeah, 1 unit died. All good. Probably should have just backed them off earlier, but no big deal. Summon blue horrors, get in the way of the enemies, and trap them here together with the War Shrine of Tzeentch and, well, slash cultist, and the Golden Griffin of Theurgy. And it looks like those Wolf Raiders are out. Balance power has shifted to about 90% in our favor. Kairos is working with those Chaos Knights up above to try to do as much damage as he can, and he's trying to enjoy those Chaos Knights while he still has them, especially since we're most likely going to transfer them to a cold Hellbrass. Although another option would be to transform them into Doom Knights and keep them with Kairos, maybe, in case something actually charges him in the air. But once again, I'm still of the opinion that it doesn't really matter whatsoever what kind of units we have with Kairos' army, because he'll deal with most of the armies himself. I think since we won't immediately be able to afford a Tsangor army, we will maybe put the Tsangors with Kairos and the Santagors with him while he attacks maybe the Realm of Khorne. And then split them off before he heads off elsewhere, whether that be into the Shield of Civilizations territories after we're done consolidating the sort of Realms of Chaos. I like the idea of us sort of fraying the edges of a reality around the world, and then starting to make our way inwards towards the Mortal Realms and stuff like that. While our own territories in the Chaos Wastes will be protected by tons and tons of vassals all around them. Which seems appropriate to have Tzeentch not exactly on the front line be a little bit more sneaky about the way he accomplishes things. Anyway, with that, looks like the Savage Orc unit is out, and I believe the entirety of the enemy army is done for. Any enemy units that were still around or still willing to rally will have been chased down by the Furies, and the battle's ours. Alright, there we go. Nice little fight. We've got one loss, got a little bit cocky with one of the flamers, and one of the wolf riders did manage to kill one off. But otherwise, no problem at all, and we were looking to occupy the place, so occupied we shall. There we are. And hello, what do we have here? Winds of Tzeentch. I am Tzeentch, and you are the puppet that dances to my tune. Winds of Tzeentch gives us a random Cataclysm ability, army ability faction-wide for 10 turns. Oh, we get this either way. Oh, so I guess we get some kind of reward every 10 turns? I like it. We're going to take the Rock of Inevitability because the other items are terrible. So fate. Fate. Pick a fate. Any fate at all. This is the one we're going to pick, so yes. I love the enemy killed in battle, power scroll, whatever, scarecrow, banner, chaos steed, the severed claw. Ooh, that'll be nice for a cold Hellbrass, I guess. They'll probably be his personal guard. He is going to command that type of army after all. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, with that, I do believe we are more or less out of time, and I'm going to end the episode here. And next time, we will... yeah, with a Thaumaturgic Fissure, we should probably... Well, keep it for now, but anyway. Don't collect the income... just collect the income. It'll, the public order will be fine anyway. Anyway, let's build the Web of Secrets while we're here. Next time, we'll wipe out these Withered Eye betrayers, whose betrayal was foreseen, I will admit, and then, as I said after that, we will have leveled up enough, and, well, we did just reach level 20 after all, hence the Cataclysm that we unlocked, so we'll be trying our first Cataclysms out as well. Blue Scribes will be split off into their own army, the various types of different Horrors army, as opposed to the run-and-gun Horrors army, and then a Cold Hellbrass. We're working on upgrading these guys, these Marauders, into Tier 5, as they've been training with Kairos since the beginning of the battle, or the beginning of the campaign, and hopefully after taking these territories, they will be at tier 5, and then we'll build the other missing units in order to get that up and running, as in Aekold's army, and Aekold himself, of course. The army is under Amonchikai and Farmore Twowmaker, who is nearly ready in terms of at least the basic portions of the Forsaken army. Still need the cultists in here and probably some exalted heroes. They're kind of mutant-y. That works. We'll proceed to the Blasted Wastes and then towards the Forest of the Moon. And actually, just so that I don't forget, we should really keep these guys at Shroud Revealed so we know what the heck is going on over here. And by the looks of it, we're going to have a fairly decent fight here because we got the garrison plus about 2 full stacks worth of stuff as well. So those guys will fight, and these guys will join together various armies and begin to move out towards fighting the undead at the Cult of Mordig, because they're digging, and followers of Nagash are here. Interesting. Wait, I actually don't remember what Katep's defeat trade is, but either way, it's the Black Pyramid of Nagash we probably want. Nikari is out here as well, so he'll probably be extremely powerful. Lots of fun stuff to be had as we spread out all over the world and then move to the realms of the gods and then be able to hit Albion, hit, well, probably not actually do anything about Norska because it'll probably be vassalized by then in the same manner that we're doing this. And then down here, we will be able to fight some Lizardmen and some Tomb Kings and whatever else we find, and down here as well. Oh, this is where they have the they have the great tree. Funny. This will be helpful if we can confederate them and get this territory for ourselves as well. Anyway, having a lot of fun with this campaign, so stay tuned, hopefully, for a more great fun ahead. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm. And, ooh, these guys have reached tier 5, meaning they should be able to get some more stuff. Ooh, gotta get some Skin Wolves. Oh, maybe we can use Skin Wolf Weirkin as the cavalry for the Forsaken army? I'll think about it. Although we do have lots of Norscan options. Anyway, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.